Guys, I wish you could feel the energy in the house. It's divine mommy fox rage. Mammon and Asmodeus had gotten back in, and Mammon, of course, just is not producing, and he always has an excuse, and I've done my research, and, I'm down to two demons at this point, so he really shouldn't still have an excuse because he and Asmodeus should both be compatible. And he's just not producing. He's just not producing. And Mommy Fox first had me set up something and, like, okay, he gets one final chance. She decided to give him one final chance for reasons known only to her. And we could just feel he wasn't going to do anything. I said, I can kind of feel, when a god's setting out to do something, I know when they ain't going to do shit. And this is, I ain't going to do shit. You're just going to keep giving me stuff and I'll pretend I'm going to do shit. And Inori came down in her divine fox mother rage, and she's like, "You get him out of here, and you get him out of here now." And her rage went into me. She can, like, push her rage into you, and kicked him out of our territory. And Mommy Fox got all the offerings, and you can feel her rage, like, in the candle and like the incense and everything. She's using it to clear her territory. And Susano all came in, and I have to drop that A. Susano came in, and I'm getting this full of amusement. Japanese is hard for me, I'm sorry. Came in and was like, good, he's gone, because he never intended to help you. And he said, some people and some demons, or some people and some gods, or whatever, don't work well together. I won't work well with every kami. So they kicked him out. And they know I hate to give up, and they know I saw potential, but if he don't want to fucking work, he's not going to. If he hasn't worked in 6 months, he's not going to. He just knew he saw a human that would keep feeding him and keep giving him gifts, and when I ran up his tally, mentally I'm running up all these candles and incenses and everything and all the food he's gotten and all the welcomes, and she goes, "You treat him like a boyfriend." Blah, 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 blah. And she's like, "You cook for him, you clean, you do all this stuff, you give him gifts, and da, 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 da. He hasn't done shit for you." Da, 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 da. And she's going off, and she's like, "I am trying to set you up with good family and good." She really got hot. She gets hot under the collar. She wants to set you up with people who are successful and want to be successful with you. It's not, that she doesn't love people or care about them personally, but it's like if someone is just lazy and will not work, she fucking hates that. You can work with her if you have chronic health issues like I do. That's something else entirely. If you physically can't do it, that's fine. If you have emotional issues or mental health issues rather, and you can't do things, that's fine. She's very loving and compassionate. But if you're just fucking lazy and you're just gonna keep putting your hand out, she will get angry and pissed off. So there's like this rage in this candle, and Lucky's like, Lucky knew she would go off, and he knew she would go off like the 4th of July. So happy 4th. You missed all the fireworks. You missed her coming down her divine wrath, and I can still feel it in me. It's like this idea that I just want to grab the nearest object and beat Mammon to death, but it's gone now. And she will take over. And that's the thing, guys, that you have to learn in whether you're going to call it magic or witchcraft or spirituality or paganism or whatever you call it. You can do whatever you want, but after a while, you're going to have to learn that unless you have infinite money and you're independently wealthy, you're going to have to learn to have a cutoff point with a demon, a god, a spirit, kami, whatever you're working with. When you've given them quite the list of candles and everything else, if they haven't done shit, you have to cut them off, and you have to go on to someone who will do for you. Every god has the potential to become a lazy, logger lout and just lay about and do nothing and be fed and be waited on. They love that shit. They're gods. But they don't do it with everyone. I just happen to be the person Mammon chose to do it with, and he's never gonna fucking work with me. If he hasn't worked in 6 months, this is Mammon. He's never gonna fucking work. I'm even wondering if it was Mammon. Asmodeus was certain it was, but, I love Asmodeus, and Asmodeus is sharp as attack, but he's also a little bit of a ditz, and he knows what I mean. I've often wondered if, as he's walking around the gambling halls of hell that he supposedly runs, he doesn't randomly hit his head every so often pretty good, because sometimes it's like he's not quite there, like the lights are on but nobody's home, and you're like, "You're special, baby." Ah, he's not like stupid. He's usually smart as a whip and he's a good businessman, but every so often he just goes into this ditzy, arid space where he's like, "Ah." So, getting these ferocious tail wags of happiness. But we work pretty well together, so it'll be Asmodeus territory only, which he's gonna like because he really doesn't like other demons. He really doesn't want to work with anyone else. He tolerated him for my sake, and he kind of likes having Inari yell at him. Like the more she yells, the more his tail wags, and the more productive he gets. So he gave me power today, gave me stamina, he gets strength, is what he gives. That I was able to finally clean um underneath the microwave and underneath the cabinet. And I know that sounds weird to able-bodied people, but when you have chronic health issues, you literally cannot get up and do it. You are looking at it, but you couldn't do it to save your life or cure cancer. You just can't. You're looking at it. You really want to do it, but you just can't move. It's like the damnedest thing. And only people with chronic health issues know what that's like. So it's like yesterday Asmodeus gave me power, and I know it was Asmodeus and some of Honori, to finally clean the bathroom altar for Loki. And Loki had been thinking I wasn't cleaning it because I was ashamed of him. And it's like, no, I'm ashamed I didn't have nicer stuff to put on your altar. And he doesn't care. A lot of the stuff he has, I told you guys on Patreon first, is sentimental stuff. And it means a lot to him. And a lot of it, we know where every piece came from. And he threw out some stuff that he didn't want anymore, which he will do. And we have a firm rule. There is no trash digging in this house. I'm not saying don't dumpster dive. That's something else entirely. But once we throw it in the trash, it doesn't come back. We don't go out to the curb and rescue it or something else. So we have a firm rule, and he decided he had 2 snake sheds. He did not want those anymore. He said he's getting new energy into the house. Those are X amount of years old. They've done all they can, so he wanted them out. So out they went. He is the ruling god. Sorry I sound hoarse. Let me get some coffee here. I'm running incense and candles for them. As I've cleaned, I found one more candle. I found this red candle, and it's full of Inari rage. You can feel she just wants to fight all of her enemies. Remember, she's also the kami of warriors, blacksmiths, everything she wants to be the kami of, and she will absolutely whip anybody's ass. She will fight everybody. Asmodeus is actually the same way. He's a warrior too. Well, depending on the path you're working with, but he's a warrior too. And he's just been he can be a little timid and hide behind women at times because he doesn't want to, I think one, he doesn't want to frighten women, and he doesn't want to come off in a bad way where Inari doesn't give 2 shits. She's going to whip everybody's ass in front of you and bring you back their heads on a platter and go, "Here you go. Mommy may do something. Mommy love you. Mommy love you. Mommy take good care of you." There's this thing that people think Inari's a little more than a little nutty, and it's like, yeah. She's a fox goddess. Literally, the priest will yell at you and say she's not a fox, but she's appeared as, and you can go Wikipedia this. But the one book I have on her, she's appeared as a dragon, she's appeared as a fox, she's appeared as a giant spider to scare the shit out of somebody and punish them. Snakes are connected to her. Anything and everything Inari wants, Inari can get. They're kind of like a spoiled princess a bit in Japan, but it's because they work so fucking hard and they're such a powerful kami. They're not probably the most popular, but they're probably the most well-known out of Japan, which is, I think, why some people, end up not appreciating just how strong and powerful they are. They're no joke. I know they're in anime and everything, so it's pretty relaxed how they treat them in Japan, but they're also no joke. They're really real and they're really powerful, and they just sent Mammoth flying with a casual SWAT, and just they were very happy, and they're very successful when they do something. And they noticed all Mammon was doing is going actually into traditional Mammon lore from a Christian sense of making me discontent, making me want all this stuff and not giving me shit. And they're like, no, his ass is gone. All they're doing is upsetting you, and all he's doing is, getting you discontent. And look how much shit you have now. And if we do decide to take you back to the cell, we will take you back. We guarantee it. But if we decide not to take you back to the cell, and they have until the 7th. I've been to this cell, but it's human to want to keep going back, right? Like if we used to have fairs in this area, and I would go to it once early in the morning, and then I would treat myself again in the afternoon, and then I would want to go in the evening, so I'd go in the evening, and then the next day I would go, and I'd end up going to the fair 6 or 7 times because that was like it for the year for this area. And the same thing if they have like when they used to have church sales, I would go to the church sale really early in the morning, then I would want to go back in the afternoon, and then But it's one of those things. They understand, and they whipped his ass first, and they're proud. Susano is very happy too because they will help get stuff. They're a bit more intense, but they're also, they're protective of their people too. They have a reputation for being a bit more chaotic, but if you can survive Loki, they seem to be fine. And they respect that this is Loki's territory ultimately. Loki is very happy. He's been watching the chaos unfold, smiling to himself. They all seem to more or less despise Mammon, but they can despise another god, kami, spirit, angel, whatever, and still let you work with them. They don't care. As long as you're happy, if they're the ones to work with you, they will let that go on. They might not believe it's the best thing for you, but if you're getting results, that's all they care about. If you're not getting results, that's when they'll start kicking ass. So he set off fireworks. And Loki's been happy because we've heard fireworks and then we've heard fire trucks. So, yeah, people aren't as careful as they should be. So please be careful, guys. Don't set yourself on fire or explode your hand off or like lose an eye or any of the other crazy shit that unfortunately happens every 4th. Please be careful because there are a lot of heat warnings. Do not go out if you don't have to, really, and being super intense sun and heat. No, heat stroke's no joke. I have heat intolerance. I tell you, it's no joke. You get super sick super fast and you just go down like nobody's business. Shut up, Loki. And you get really sick really fast and you can end up in the hospital with it. So please be super careful. Don't get sick. Watch what you eat. Cook your food early on the grill. All the mom stuff you need to hear. Wear your sunscreen. So, be safe out there, guys. Social distance, wear your mask, do whatever is being called for in your area. And if you like what you see, like, comment, and subscribe. I'm proud of Mommy Fox. She's ferocious when she wants to be. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye.